This is video 7. As promised, I'm going to show you how Revelation chapter 13 and verse 18, which we will discuss, the 666 calculated, has something to do with Daniel chapter 12. But unless you understand the life of Jesus, it's impossible to see. So I've just put these few notes down for you to read, to remind yourself of what Daniel is all about. The numbers in Daniel, the finally ending on day 1335. The particular part I want you to notice today is so Jesus died on day 1332. This is important to remember. 3 days later, he was resurrected on day 1335, just the same as Daniel chapter 12. So now, let us start. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. In the very beginning, in Genesis, it started with, in verse 15, God putting enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and her offspring. He will crush you in the head, and you will strike his heel. Now we all know that the crushing of the head is Satan's head. The striking in the heel is Jesus' heel, because he was resurrected. So now let's go back. We're going to follow this through now then, because this is how it ends. I want to show you Revelation chapter 17. It's this little bit here. You need to read all this chapter. But for now, 17. It's to do with the beast and the false, and Babylon the Great and the false prophet. For God put it into their hearts to fulfill his purpose, to be of one mind, and to give their kingdoms to the wild beast, until the words of God are fulfilled. Notice, until the words of God are fulfilled. I meant the 10 kings, not the false prophet. Okay. I want to remind you now of something Jesus said. Verse 30. So when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished," and bowed his head, he gave up his spirit. That is on day 1332 of his life. Remember, 3 days later, he is resurrected, just as Daniel chapter 12 says, leaving us his footsteps in Daniel chapter 12 to follow. Now to the number of the beast. It said it's a number of the beast, and the beast is found in Revelation 13:1. And in this chapter here, we can see, verse 12, the 10 horns, which you saw, 10 kings, who haven't received a kingdom as yet, but they receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. They give their authority and power to the beast. They make war with the Lamb and his faithful followers. Now, if we go to the next chapter, it gives us a clue. So it's telling the beast and the 10 kings, render to her just as she rendered to you, and repay her double according to her works. Mixed double for her. Right, 666. The time that Satan has, his number. Double it. Because if you're doing double work, you need double the days. 666 times 2 is 1332. It's the same amount of time that Jesus had. The devil's got exactly the same amount of time. And when he reaches day 1332, 666 times 2, it is finished, and he can do no more. Jesus Christ comes as a flaming fire 3 days later, and Babylon the Great is burnt with fire. Okay, back to Revelation chapter 13. What comes after the 666? Initially, there was no division between the chapters. This came straight after it. And look, the Lamb, behold the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000. Daniel's one of them. In fact, anybody who wants to be faithful to God and follow Jesus will be one of them. It's the resurrection, when the 1335 days are finished. Because after the 1332, Jesus takes 3.5 days, according to Revelation chapter 11, at the death of the two witnesses, before the two prophets and all the prophets that have ever lived are resurrected. Anyway, that's enough for now. I hope that you've understood. I'll be back soon.